points. Chase Sexton third in points. Ken Roczen there having him fourth. AP, who is not racing tonight, unfortunately, in fifth. And the one I cannot believe did not make the top five, your St. Louis winner, Eli Tomac. The disrespect, Ricky, is unbelievable here. Did they not watch that heat race?
They don't, man. Not giving this guy any love whatsoever.
And again, if you weren't with us earlier and you heard JT say about Aaron Plessinger, he fell earlier in the day and injured his elbow. All right, time for a Utah Sports Commission pre-race report, and here's RC's insights. What you got your eye on, mate?
Yeah, that's right. Keep your eye on Webb and Tomac. And the reason I say that, they were the fastest in qualifying, meaning out of 10 laps. Eli had 4 fast laps. Cooper Webb had the 4 fastest as well, class of the field. So they're going to have their hands full, although with Jet, as I say that.
Well, for Cooper Webb, you can bet that he went back and watched the video. Where was Jet Lawrence making time up on me in that heat? If he gets a start in this main event, watch for him to just try to hang around with Jet, get late in the race, and lean on his strength, which is the late racecraft. That's what he does best. That's what he's going to try to do here, is hang around, get to the late laps, and win it then.
And if you're going to pick a guy with momentum, it has to be the number 3 of Eli Tomac, not only coming off that heat win, Ricky, that you talked about, but also in St. Louis there, being a Triple Crown. He crossed that checkers multiple times just in that night. Can he keep that momentum rolling in here to the main event to back it up?
Well, Jet Lawrence right now, you go back 3 races ago, and he had close to a 20-point lead. It's all the way down to only an 8-point margin over Cooper Webb. He has got to stop the bleeding here tonight.
And I'm saying don't forget about the champ. Here he is, Chase Sexton, the 24-year-old from Illinois. He was looming in the background in the heat and made up some good ground, and he is ready to win for the 2nd time this year aboard his still new ride, the Red Bull KTM, as he gets himself pumped up. Been a fun night here in Foxborough, thanks to the fans here at Gillette Stadium. It's been a good one. What are we in store for? And does Jet Lawrence leave here still with the points lead? It's time to bring the action in the Northeast. 450 main, here we go! Tomac, another good start. Webb on the inside, though. Roczen's in the mix. Here comes Anderson. And Lawrence Jet is buried in the pack.
Oh, Cooper wasn't able to triple right there. Kenny going to try to get by. Doesn't.
Another good start from Shane McElrath. He's on the inside with his teammate, Ken Roczen. Anderson goes around the outside. Webb, Roczen, Anderson, McElrath. Inside is Sexton now, gets McElrath for 4th.
This has been one of the challenges for Cooper Webb. I feel like his whole 450 career is coming out and putting in good 6 to 8 sprint laps to be able to beat a guy like Jet Lawrence or even Kenny in this situation. You have to be explosive early like this, and this is hard to do when this hasn't been your tendencies your whole career. You can see he's been working on it.
Look how close it is here at the front between Webb and Roczen. Meanwhile, we're going to go back and have a look at the start. Check this out.
There you go, right there. Watch Jet Lawrence. He's going to get sandwiched. He gets into Malcolm Stewart right on his right-hand side. He sees Ken's bike, slips out to the right. He moves to the right. There was nowhere for him to go, and they collide.
And you may have noticed that Tomac got tangled on that opening lap, and Tomac has had problems again. He's right in front of Jet Lawrence. You're talking well down the order, outside the top 10. What happened? This will tell us.
Well, this goes over the finish line jump. Going to come through. Oh, what happened was as he's leaning the bike over, he accelerates to get a good drive out of the corner, and the rear end slides over the top of the rut and slides out.
Tom Vial just told us that after he was on the podium in the 250 East race, the main event, that track was really slippery. He found it hard just to find good traction. Meanwhile, Jet Lawrence has a colossal challenge on his hands right now.
Oh,
he's down in 12th, and he's going to try and make his way back.
He is losing some precious ground. I'm going to tell you right now, he has got a lot of work ahead of him. Going to be tough to do. I mean, you look at the top of your screen there. He's going into that right-hander before the triple. Cooper Webb was already at the end of the whoops. So you have the top of your screen there to the left. Look where Cooper and Ken Roczen are. This is some great camera work by the drone. Love this drone shot. Really gives you a good perspective of what these riders are going through the rhythm lanes.
Well, keep watching the distance in time from Webb down to 11th place Lawrence. It's 12.2 seconds. Keep watching that as the race goes on. We've got a ton of time left, just under 17 minutes, JT.
Well, for Cooper Webb, he did the hard work, in my opinion. Those early laps where Ricky talked about if you can hold Roczen back, Cooper Webb's going to be able to dictate his own pace from here. What he wouldn't want to do is let Kenny by and then be stuck behind him for the remainder of this race, because I believe Cooper Webb's only going to get stronger. His pace will improve as the track deteriorates. He'll start cutting down on the corners, shortening the racetrack. But if he's stuck behind somebody, he wouldn't be able to use those lines as well. So this is so important what he did on that first 2 laps.
Well, Kenny is going to be tough as well, and the reason I say that, number one, he's super talented, and Kenny has really good throttle control, and I feel like that Suzuki motorcycle, its power curve and how the delivery is on, it's very smooth, or it has been in the past, which makes it very rideable in slick conditions like this.
Here's Chase Sexton starting to turn up the heat a little bit on the Progressive Insurance X-Star Suzuki of Ken Roczen. Justin Cooper, who had to come through the last chance qualifier ahead of Jet Lawrence. That's 10th and 11th. Tomac is one position up the road. He's fighting it out with Barsha at the moment. And this would be a change in the championship lead. Cooper Webb, as they run, would have a 6-point lead as Jet Lawrence goes around the outside, or tries to go around the outside, which then turns to an inside avenue on Justin Cooper. JT?
Well, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but it is starting to rain. Now, we've only got about 15 minutes plus 2 laps to go in this race, but it is picking up quickly. Those slippery spots on the racetrack are going to be what you have to watch. There's no dirt left, so if any rain forms up on those sections, it's going to become ice very, very quickly.
Well, expanding to what JT is talking about, yes, it isn't ideal that it's raining, but at least these guys are going to be able to adjust as the conditions deteriorate. They're going to adjust to those conditions, and a little bit easier to do that rather than going out there starting in an absolute mud race. You adjust. If it's getting slipperier, you adjust with the rain.
Webb, Roczen, Sexton, and Chase has been putting some pretty nifty laps together in consecutive fashion. So Roczen's going to have company here anytime soon. Look at that. Look how close. The reigning series champ is on a mission.
Sexton riding really well. Big turnaround from the heat race. But actually, you know, I go back to the heat race, and he was
good.
Really, yeah, he was close. He was close behind these guys.
Again, encouraging for Ken Roczen to be up there fighting for another podium, because there's been more than one occasion this year where it's been 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and not always his fault either. He's had a lot of adversity this year. This is another gutsy performance from Kenny. Well,
just an update, Lee, on Chase Sexton and all the progress that's going on with Red Bull KTM and the bike there. It's been obviously well documented throughout the season, and that work continues there. In the off week that they had, they said they'd done some work on the engine, they'd done a little bit more work on suspension. Some parts that they were waiting there that were being built specifically from Austria came over. They did put some test outs on that, obviously, before they gave it to Chase, and just all steps forward in the right direction is what I've been told from the team.
let's give a shout out to the Suzuki boys as well. Roczen in 2nd, Shane McElrath in 6th. Shane's best result on the season was a 4th in San Francisco at that mudder that we'll never forget. And here he is running in 6th. That's another great result. Kyle Chisholm a little further back. And we were remiss to congratulate Chiz on his 200th start. That was back in St. Louis.
That's incredible. Phenomenal career. He's been at it for a long time. It's cool to see him still being competitive at that age.
Here's Sexton. He's ever present, and he's trying to hassle Roczen into a mistake. Meanwhile, looking further down the order, behind Justin Hill, who's running in a fabulous 5th. That's an awesome effort, ahead of Shane McElrath and behind Jason Anderson.
You know, you watch it. Oh, look at Jet was able to triple out of that corner that him and Tomac were doing in the heat races earlier tonight. But I want to go back. They're not catching these guys in front of them.
No, they're not.
You know, so these guys in front of them. Hunter's riding well. McElrath.
There it is. Pressure's intensifying on Ken Roczen. Where's Sexton going to get it done?
Ooh.
Trying to do a switch back there.
Yeah, he over-rotated just a tad. I thought he was going to drop it. That was a nice save. Strength. Sexton.
I just want to go back to Justin Hill on the Team Tedder Monster Energy KTM. Justin's season best result was 14th at A1. He's running in 5th. That's awesome.
Oh, incredible. Look at these guys. I mean, they're so good, so methodical. Rarely do they make any mistakes. Just hard in the battle, and I'm just sitting here. I'm just sitting back, watching, waiting for something to happen. It's like, okay, someone going to slip up? Or are they going to make their move? And I like Sexton been working hard. I think he's going to have to get out of his comfort zone, like cross back up inside right here to make the move.
It's where he tried it a lap ago, and as you said, Ricky, over-rotated.
Yeah. Well, he carries a little bit better speed, too, on this next rhythm section.
Here we go, here we go, here we go! Oh! He was sizing up an inside run there
right
on Roczen.
Yeah, he's going to have to show Kenny that front wheel. But when you do that, you know, if you're going to show a guy like Ken Roczen or anyone at this level of front wheel, you have to execute the pass, because if you don't execute the pass, you just lose too much time.
Meanwhile, bottom box, Jet Lawrence, with every single move that he goes by, gets him closer again to the championship lead. So he was as much as 8 points out of the championship lead. It's now been trimmed back to 2. So Jet came into this main event with an 8-point championship lead as he goes by Justin Hill. And that's another one taken. So now Cooper Webb's lead is just 1 in the championship points situation over Jet Lawrence.
It's back and forth.
What an epic season.
Oh,
what an epic season. Halfway mark through this main. Visit Amazon.com, where Monster Energy drinks are now available. Ken Roczen's done a really good job in holding Chase Sexton at bay.
Well, he has. It looked like Sexton had to back off a little bit. Sometimes when you can't make a move, it's almost like you have to back off a little bit, make a reset, and then make another push. Again, figure out where you're going to make that move. Kenny is just so good at being defensive also and blocking the line. It's almost like car racing, especially NASCAR. These guys in these big speedways, they'll get in front of guys if they see them coming, take their air away in their front downforce, similar to these guys. Up
inside, Jet Lawrence on Eli Tomac, and then takes that defensive inside line. Tomac tries to switch back, but lost a little momentum. So Jet makes that move stick, and that's going to be positive move in the championship. Folks, we are all tied at the top. Jet Lawrence and Cooper Webb are tied at the top of this Monster Energy AMA Supercross Championship.
With 8 minutes to go and still 1 lap. Oh, Jet almost jumps off, gets caught up into a tough block.
Will, tell us more about Jet.
We can't help but watch Jet Lawrence out there right now, Lee, and wonder, you know, how's the pressure? How's he handling all of this? And when I checked in with the team earlier today to say, you know, we saw that points lead get cut down to 8 in St. Louis, how's he handling that? And they said, what you need to understand about Jet is this kid knows how to handle pressure. They said it's easy to think that he's a rookie in the 450 class, so it's new, but they said think about it. 250 titles, he handled the pressure in that. All the way through the outdoor season there in motocross last summer, went undefeated, handled the pressure in all of that. And they said, look back to LA there for the SMX playoffs, $1 million on the line, and hey, he managed to handle that. So they have no problem thinking that he can handle anything thrown at him.
Well, he's had a good ride. I mean, he lost a lot of position early on. He was 12th on the first lap, and to march up the field here.
So while we've been looking at everybody else, we probably should show you the race leader.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, the 94 of Ken Roczen has kept him honest. This is a tough, this is a hard-earned ride right here by Cooper Webb. It's a tough spot to be in when you just can't pull away. Doing everything that you can do, you just have to assume that he's searching for the best line. Where can I make up a 10th here, a 10th there, and you just can't break that gap.
Well, if he can hang in here for another 7 minutes plus a couple of laps, Cooper Webb's going to get his first win here in Foxborough in either class. There's not a whole lot of history in this venue as far as numerous events, and he hasn't got this win just yet because 1.8 seconds, not only from Roczen, but tags Sexton onto that as well. This has been a determined ride by Chase Sexton, who's now finally got the momentum up over that wall jump. Has to switch it back. Roczen's Suzuki is about as wide as 4 bikes.
Sexton's going to have to give him a little elbow grease here if he wants to get by. He's lost way too much time. He's way faster than Kenny right now. However, Kenny doing a great job to keep Sexton behind him, but Sexton's losing some precious time.
That lead has now gone from 1.8 to 2.4 to the advantage of Cooper Webb over these guys. Jason Anderson, 7.8 seconds out of the lead, holding on to 4th. That'll be some good points for the Monster Energy Kawasaki man. And then Jet Lawrence, Tomac, Hunter Lawrence, Justin Hill, Shane McElrath, and Justin Cooper, the top 10. Chase must be saying, what have I got to do to get by this guy?
Well, no, he's just got to, I mean, it's going to have to be a split second. He's got to get right on the back tire of Ken Roczen. If Ken slips just a little bit, boom, Chase has to take that position right there, JT.
Yeah, and the trouble with being behind somebody this long is you kind of showed your cards. Kenny knows where Chase is fast. He knows where he's going to try to make a move because he's already done it several times now. So Kenny knows where he has to be defensive and knows where to block. So it just makes the job that much more difficult. You don't have the element of surprise anymore. You're almost just subject to a mistake.
We're going to watch Kenny right here in the attitude and his body position on the bike. See, he has overjumped a couple of the rhythm sections right here. He's been getting pressured big time this whole race. Pretty good control there.
I'll take you back to the last lap. Check this out. Watch the top box.
Keeping Jet close. Top box. Ooh.
Whoa.
Yep. Jet cutting down early. Similar to what he did back in St. Louis.
That wasn't a great exit there from Ken Roczen, and that's given Chase Sexton some momentum. Kickstart Kenny has been roadblocked.
He's gone. No, what?
Wow. And Sexton on the inside still can't get it done. Ken Roczen has been the everywhere man tonight, and finally he can't hold Sexton off anymore.
Oh, watch this. Sexton's going to catch Cooper Webb.
Great riding, both men.
He's going to catch him so fast. I can't believe that Chase Sexton made that move. I thought he was jumping off the track.
I can tell.
Right? Oh, he's gonna reel Coop in so fast. See the gap right here. Basically nothing.
Just under a couple of seconds. There it is there. Oh, front end kind of washed from under Sexton there a little bit, but he was able to hang on to it. Keep watching that gap. Keep watching these top two. What Sexton got left? 3.5 minutes plus the laps.
Oh, these lappers, man, they got to get out of the way here. And old Sexton, only 15 points out of the championship right now. Behind Lawrence and Webb.
Tied at the top. And Jet Lawrence is kind of parked because Anderson's 4 seconds up the track. Maybe he's got time to catch Anderson to get one more. Who knows?
Oh.
It'd be an epic effort. 1.6 seconds the difference, Webb to Sexton. Who's going to win here in Foxborough tonight? Neither of these guys have ever won here before. It'd be a first for either. Webb has been out in front the whole main event. Terrific start alongside his Monster Energy Yamaha Star Racing teammate JT, but he has just been the man controlling this race up until now, because Sexton's only 1.5 seconds back, Jason.
Yeah, and I've been watching to see where Chase is making up time, and he's really starting to lean on the berms. He's getting out of that really hard, slippery inside, and he's going out, finding traction. It's allowing him to really use that KTM power.
I'm going to show you an example of that, where he's doing that, to what JT was talking about. Look at Coop's line through the whoops, jumping like 4 or 5, but this is where Chase is going out, searching for more grip. Watch how he goes to the outside right there. Then he gets a good run across that slick patch.
He was doing that against Roczen as well.
He's been doing it majority of this race.
Nothing in it. Nothing in it between 2 of the top 3 in the championship. Cooper Webb aboard his Monster Energy Yamaha Star Racing bike, and Red Bull KTM's new man, the champ, Chase Sexton.
Remember we talked about that race at Seattle, and you just find ways to win? This is one of those races right here where the best just find out how to get the job done. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Watch that bottom box, because if Lawrence can make that pass, the battle for 4th, Jet would keep his championship lead. If not, we're going to go to the next round. All tied up. This season has just been brilliant.
Yeah, they got 2 more laps. Cooper's going to pass the flag stand with about 30 seconds left. Oh, there's a handful of lappers up there that he's probably going to run into on that last lap. But this is very similar to what we saw in Seattle. And you talk about redemption.
Yeah.
You just wonder, if you go back to Sexton in that race, can he have that one back? Well, the opportunity is here, Lee.
Sure is. Less than a second between these guys. Time is almost up.
Oh, there's Barsha.
The way that Sexton hunted Ken Roczen and then finally got him, is he going to do the same here to Cooper Webb? They get by Justin Barsha. Meanwhile, bottom box, Jet Lawrence on Jason Anderson. These 2 guys have history, and they have history at the end of a race. How's this going to play out with just 2 laps to go?
I'm watching that top box right there. This last lap is going to be incredible to watch. And Sexton's got to put... Oh! Cooper high sides, gets cross-rutted.
He got cross-rutted, and that was costly time-wise. Oh, and Sexton nearly drops it. He kind of did the splits on the inside, so both these guys made errors and kind of neutralized the situation. Final lap, they're on their way home. Cooper Webb staring down his 4th win of the season. And here is Lawrence on the inside of Anderson.
Oh, this is going to be tight. Here comes Sexton.
He is not done with yet. This is where he's been pretty good. Has Cooper Webb got enough? Can Lawrence do anything about Anderson? So much to play for. Do we leave here the championship tied? Or does Lawrence keep it? And does Webb get another win? Or does Sexton upset the night? 2 guys at the front.
He's got to guard the inside right here.
He's got enough. He's got enough, but he goes high. Cooper Webb wins in Foxborough and shares the championship lead, or does he? Jet Lawrence, almost spins out. We are tied at the top of this championship. Lawrence gave it everything, but this man shows yet again what a fighter he is. Cooper Webb, he is ready for it. He's ready for another championship fight.
He had the fastest lap of the night in this main event at a 53.0. Next fastest guy on the track was Sexton at a 53.1. And we talk about not always being the fastest. He was the fastest in this main event.
How about that? 25th career main victory. Cooper Webb, he's tied at the top.